Bro, how the fuck does Halloween always sneak up on me? Every fucking year, I forget about Halloween until it's too late. Because I don't have money to set up for Halloween now. I don't have the time to fucking go to fucking Spirit Halloween and get my shit together. If I fucking thought about it, I would have done that way earlier in the month. And I'd just be ready to go. Because it's not like I'm going to do much on Halloween. It's not like I have friends that are going to invite me to a Halloween party. But in the off chance that does happen, I'm never ready. I never have a costume. People are dressing up in costumes at work. I'd like to participate in that, but I always forget. And it always fucking sneaks up on me. It always creeps right up on me when I've only got a few fucking days, like a week left. It's like, hey, remember Halloween? And it's like, fuck! God damn it! I never fucking remember. I never have a costume. I never have anything. I'm never ready for Halloween. And then Halloween fucking passes me by. Another year. No fun on Halloween. Every time. Every fucking time. Last time I dressed up for Halloween, 18 years old. I'm 21 now. This is the third Halloween in a row that I'm not ready because it fucking snuck up on me. Because every time I thought about it up until this point, it's left my brain too quick for me to act on it in any reasonable way. And here we are. And now I don't have money. I do have money, but I need to save it to go on a trip to Massachusetts. The only thing I'm going to try to not spend money on anything besides the Five Nights at Freddy's movie because I'm going to see it with Jason. That's kind of a Halloween thing. It's a couple days before, but close enough. But yeah, I always fucking forget about Halloween. It's bullshit, and I hate it.
You know who didn't forget about Halloween this year?
Was it you?
Yeah, it was me, buddy.
Hey.
So this past weekend,
mm-hmm.
I went to a Halloween party. It's the first one since I believe. Oh man, the last Halloween party I went to was like 2017.
Damn.
It's been a minute. It's been a while. It was fun. It was low key. It wasn't like a big, massive crowd. It was just me and a couple friends. We drove like an hour away, but it was cool. It was great. It was fun. I know this is an audio medium. I can send you a picture of I went as a cow.
Let's see it.
Do you want it? Where do you want it? Detour Ahead podcast?
Detour Ahead podcast, yeah.
Right.
I hate when you do this, though, because it is an audio medium, but, we could solve that if you let me put an Imgur link in the description or put it in the thumbnail, but you're always like, no, I don't want people to see me.
Well, no. I was thinking about that today, because, I knew our topic today is Halloween. This is coming out on Halloween. Well, it better come out on Halloween. If it comes out on the 1st...
we fucked up.
We fucked up. If you're listening to this, and it just got released Wednesday, November 1st. We fucked up. Where's Detour Head? No, I went as a cow. It's just a cow print dress with little cow ears and horn and like a long sleeve white shirt underneath.
Bro, hell yeah.
Nothing super elaborate. No blow up cow costume or anything like that. Was that in Detour Ahead?
Yeah. I see it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it was fun. It was nice to see everybody again.
So the people gonna get to see it?
No.
You fucker.
That's why I described it.
I was thinking about that the other day, and I decided still fuck you, actually.
You know what? Honestly, maybe I'll go release all the pictures that I talk about on patreon.com/Kochu.
You're really gonna paywall your fucking pictures? I'm putting an Imgur link in the description. You can't you don't have access to the Spotify feed. You can't stop me.
There is no stopping you, but I know if I respectfully say no, then you won't do it because you're not a mean person.
You see, you say that, but
anyway,
it really depends.
We're not here to grill me about shit, all right? Anyway, did a little Halloween party this past weekend. It was fun. I didn't get super drunk because I did have to drive home. I did have to drive an hour home that night. Got home around 2 a.m. and then proceeded to wake up at what was it, 8 a.m. the following day, because I had to go pick up a couch and a new bed and get it to the storage unit. So, and my dad offered to help, so I had to go get the U-Haul. We went to the place to go get the stuff, and Dad wanted to do it in the morning before football started. So
Yeah.
that was a very sleepy day. But other than that, it was fun.
At this point, I feel like we probably are long overdue to say welcome to Detour.
Welcome to Detour Ahead, everybody. It could be one of those podcasts where we just introduce the podcast. Like, every other word is welcome to Detour Ahead. I'm your host, Alex, and that's Riely.
Hey, that's us.
Decode the message left in Detour Ahead. If you play it backwards, you might hear welcome to Detour Ahead.
Yeah.
But in reverse.
I can't even begin.
What,
I
saying the words
I was going to
backwards?
try to say it backwards, but I can't even do it. I'm not even going to try.
No, I'm not even going to bother trying. Welcome to a spooky episode of Detour Ahead, where I've done a bunch of research and Riley's going to react to it.
Yep.
Let's see. We didn't do a Halloween episode that last year. We're coming.
I don't think so. What were we doing last year at fucking Halloween?
The podcast had just started around this time last year. Remember, we started at the end of September. We started weekly at the end of September last year.
We were just starting to get in it. And we did a Halloween episode of the Issue Crew, so I probably was not. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because all your good ideas are over at the Issue Crew at issuecrew.com.
Not anymore. We're doing issues now, so all the topics get to be here.
Oh, lucky me. Anyway, Riely.
What's up?
How's your life been?
Ooh, it's overtime week, baby. They fucking snuckered me in. The overtime is the modern siren song, which I already said this on the Issue Crew. I already did an issue about it, so I won't go on about it forever. But it's fucking the modern siren song, because they get you in and they're like, hey buddy, you wanna make time and a half? And you're like, of course I want to make time and a half, and you fucking sign up for these hours. But then you're there, and it's fucking torture, and you're like, I don't want to go home.
Yes, sir. Yep, I've had the overtime days. Except my overtime days were 60-hour weeks, split between 4 different jobs, so I didn't get the benefit of actual overtime. It was just, hey, we can give you 20 hours. I'm like, well, I need more hours to pay bills. And they're like, nah, go find another job and do it. So I worked like 3 or 4 jobs.
Oof.
Oh yeah, never work more than one job. If you're working 2 jobs,
That sounds hard to keep track of.
If you're working 2 jobs, I pray for you. Let's put it that way. But yeah, how's that overtime treating you, buddy?
I mean, to be honest, it's kind of refreshing to be there at night again. Something nostalgic about it, because that used to be the regular, and it has not been in a long time. But working all those hours, kind of annoying. Especially because I have to do a lot of it actually on the phone, and I haven't done a lot of that in the past few months. So it's getting back into doing it for more than like 5 minutes per week is a little not fun, I would say. I had a prank call today.
A prank call?
Some Mexican guy was telling me about how he 69's his girlfriend.
Really?
Yes. I could barely understand him. The thing was, like, I could barely understand him, so it took me a minute to understand what was going on. So he calls in. He has to talk to Melanie, and there's no Melanie, as far as I know. Or if there is a Melanie, she's just another fucking wage slave taking phone calls, and I cannot transfer him to Melanie. So I'm just like, you want to talk to Melanie, you said? And he's like, yeah. and then he like keeps going on, and I don't realize what he's saying for a minute. But then I hear 69, and I start to hear that he starts talking about coming, and I'm like, wait a minute.
He got you. He got you there.
He did.
You fell sucker to a classic prank call.
It was funny.
Surprised he
I
didn't ask
sat
for
there.
Candace.
I didn't know. I didn't know how to like. Because the
Well,
thing
because
you're
you're
not
at work, you're not expecting
and
prank
the thing is,
calls.
you're not supposed to like hang up on people. So like, it's kind of like I had to assess myself. Eventually, I did hang up on the guy, but like, I had to kind of assess the situation. I kind of let him go on for a while. I was laughing. He could hear it. He was like, "Why are you laughing?" And eventually, I was like, "Sir, I'm gonna have to disconnect the line. I'm sorry." And then I hung up on him. But it was funny. So that's overtime. Also, I've started a new Pokemon adventure. If you'll recall, dear listener, if there's any Riely fans out there, about 2 years ago now, which it's unfortunate that's true because this is my second most recent scripted video, and it was 2 years ago. And I wrote a video. I put out a video called "The Magic of Pokemon Let's Go," where I discussed how much I loved Pokemon Let's Go and how much it was super cool and good. And in that video, I teased a video that I gave the title "Pokemon Sword and Shield and the Proverbial Meh," where I was going to discuss why I think Pokemon Sword and Shield are my least favorite mainline Pokemon games, and they're the only just okay in a line of great games. And that was 2 years ago, and that video has not happened. And recently, it's come back up in my mind, and I've always been like, I gotta replay the game before I write this video, because it's been too long, my thoughts are not gonna be fresh, I gotta replay the game. So this week, at the beginning of this week, I started up just for fun to see if I can do it, but I'll pivot to just a regular run if this fails. But I started up a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Shield,
Okay.
and it's been a good time so far. I think
Return
I
of
don't
Nuzlocke and Friends.
Nuzlocke and friends.
Yeah, it's a play on your old podcast. Isn't your YouTube still Riely and Friends?
Yes, I see what you're doing. I see what you're referencing. You
Yeah,
sneaky
you used
little
to do
referencer.
Nuzlocks a lot. Every
Did
week on
I?
PVH, it was, oh, well, here's my Nuzlocke progress.
Oh yeah, true. I wasn't putting those out though. I was just playing Nuzlocks. But
I thought about doing a Paldea Nuzlocke, but it requires, like, looking up work.
yeah.
I don't know. I thought about doing a Nuzlocke just because I was bored. But I'm like, half the time I cheat because I can't do it. I'm not honest enough.
You fucking little cheater. Why would you cheat? It's for you. There's nobody is benefiting from you cheating.
Except me.
But then why are you even doing it?
I don't know, because I'm bored and I need something to like occupy my mind until I don't know. Most of the time, I usually just do Wonderlocks because those are more fun. But
I've done my fair share of Wonderlocks. Shout out to my boy Xploud getting it done. I had a Wonderlock where my fucking main guy was this fucking Xploud. It's like the lamest thing to use because it was a fucking ORAS Wonderlock, and I
oh
got a
man, you
whiz.
remember our Soul Lock that never happened?
Were we supposed to do that?
No, we did a little bit.
We should do a Nuzlocke together again.
We could. We gotta find time to do it though.
Yeah, but but yeah, I used to do Wonder Cage locks a lot with
Yeah.
my old buddy Mr. Mini Cheese. And there was the one run I did where this fucking Whismer that I got, the lamest thing you can get from fucking Wonder Trade because it's a guaranteed encounter in the regular game. But I got a fucking Whismer, and that motherfucker became the main character of my run. It's so fun because ORAS has this fun little thing. This is actually really cool that it has this. In the credit sequence, it will show you each gym battle and what Pokemon you used against the ace of that gym battle. It like shows their ace against your Pokemon that you used against their ace.
Okay.
7 out of 8. that Whismur / Loudred / Xcloud was there. I don't remember what gym it wasn't. There was obviously Tate and Liza was there, and it was next to Greninja, I believe. And I don't remember what the one it wasn't there for, but 7 out of 8. that motherfucker was out there. My kingdom on the back of an X-Blade. It's one of those things, because like that's a Pokemon you don't expect to be the hero of a run, but in a Nuzlocke, sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes you get silly little guys, and they become the best ones. But yeah, Shield Nuzlocke has been fun so far. I had a couple close calls recently. I might need to do a small little grinding session before I proceed, because I did have a battle with Hop where I was a little bit underleveled and things got a little bit dicey. No deaths so far, but close call with Hop. There was also a trainer with a Pancham in Route 3, and that motherfucker could have wiped me if he wanted to. It was literally AI incompetence that made that guy not fucking kill my entire existence.
How are you handling the open area, the wild area, or whatever it's called?
Just every named area is a new route.
Okay, because I've seen a lot of people use it as like you get one encounter in there per gym, so like you only get 8 encounters in the whole wild area.
I didn't want to be silly about it. It's not the Sword and Shield isn't filled with encounter areas anyway, so it's not like you're gonna even with each named area and wild area getting an encounter, you're not getting more encounters than like Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Like it's not like the wild area has a million named areas. I think it has like 20.
That's not bad.
So
You at least like split it up, or do you go all out right at the beginning?
it's just I'm just kind of going where I need to go. Like I'm not fucking around in the wild area. Like on the way to Motostoke, I went through 2 named areas and got 2 encounters. And then when I have to go back, I'll get whatever other encounters I run into on the way. Once I get to a certain point in the game, if I'm missing a good few, I'll probably hit
Now,
up
do
the
you
wild
use a
area.
Nuzlocke
And
tracker like online?
I have an app on my phone that is a tracker.
Okay.
Yeah,
Man, it's been a while since I don't think I've done a legitimate Nuzlocke since, oh man, since probably the Pixel days.
they're fun. I'm bad at seeing them through though. I did sign up for the Dicketeers again, almost by accident.
Yeah,
I don't know. I assume you're at least tangentially familiar with what the Dicketeers is.
it's the Nuzlocke run group thing or whatever.
Yeah. I figured I was like disgraced for life from the Dicketeers, but I think I've signed up like 2 or 3 times and I've never made it through. Although Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon wasn't really my fault. Well, it was my fault, but it wasn't like I blew it off. It was I literally was too bad. Like there's this one battle in Ultra Sun Ultra Moon very early on where even before his trial, Captain Yima battles you himself, trainer to trainer. And he has a Young Goose and he has a Smeargle. Now let me tell you some fun facts about this Smeargle, right? Smeargle has an ability called adaptability, where if you have a stab move, and that stab move has less than 60 base power, your stab bonus is like double instead of 1.5.
Yeah, that's
That,
why Eevee is really good.
that Smeargle has Tackle, which is a less than 60 power move that is of its type. And at that point, you're looking at like 90 base power very early in the game.
Is it
That
less than?
Smeargle will fuck your shit up, bro.
Is it less than 60?
Yes, Tackle has like 40 base power.
Oh,
Or I think it's 50 actually. So yeah, this motherfucker has like 100 base power, hitting you when you're at like level 9. It feels impossible. I couldn't figure it out. I attempted that run like 4 times and lost to that fucking smear goal every time. And I was like, listen, man, I'm just gonna hold everybody back. Like I could keep trying, but like maybe I'll get past it after fucking a bunch of more attempts. But then I'm gonna die something else immediately. I'm obviously just not up for this. so
Yeah.
but that was the last time I interacted with the Dicketeers. But I guess they're doing Heart Gold Soul Silver. I was just like talking in the chat about like Pat's old Heart Gold Soul Silver run, and I was like, I've been thinking about Nuzlocke in the game. I have a physical copy, but like I feel like I was joking around like I have a physical copy, but I feel like I would contemplate my life choices a little too much if I had to do the Johto grind on cart with no speed up. And then he was like, "Well, you just play on emulator." He sent me a link to like the ROMs that he set up, and he gave me the role. So I guess I'm in.
So add another thing that you're doing weekly.
I think it's bi-weekly, and it's also just like a video game that I play. It's not like I have to get into a call at a certain time and do a show. It's just when I'm not doing something, I go play this video game.
Okay.
Don't fucking criticize me over there. I hear your little snarkiness over
You hear
there.
my silent snarkiness over here?
I hear it. I feel it.
Pretty loud today.
Very loud snark today.
Not
But
that
yeah,
it's not loud any other day.
I've been feeling the Nuzlocke itch, so play some
Man, you
Shield.
talking about it's giving me the itch as well. I've thought about going back to Kanto just for fun and playing Let's Go.
That'd be a weird Nuzlocke.
Is there PvP on in Kanto?
Will you in Let's Go?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's not PvP.
I believe there's local PvP, but I don't think there's online PvP.
I don't think there's online PvP. You'd have to go to. I think you'd have to go to Sword and Shield for that. I know there's PvP for Diamond and Pearl for BDSP.
I mean, even if there's not, you can showdown it.
You could, but Showdown's not as
There's Let's
fun.
Go mode in Showdown.
Showdown's not as fun though.
Is it not? I'm fine with doing Showdown. I've always done Showdown for PvP and Nuzlocks because I play old games where it's very difficult to get connected via actual hardware. So I do PvP and Showdown all the time. So I guess I'm just used to it.
I don't know. Maybe I don't have the patience for it.
Oh, God forbid I have to sit in front of a slider for a minute and make the numbers match. I never understood why people couldn't figure that out. Like I would always try to like start Nuzlocke groups with like people online, and that would always be a big sticking point. I'm like, fuckers, they give you a little thing. You don't even have to put in the numbers yourself. They give you a little slider. Just fucking click on the thing, drag it until the stat matches. That's all you have to do. It's like, can't we just like choose EVs or whatever and make it easier? It's like, no, bro. Just 5 minutes of your life. Come on.
A lot of minutes.
Shut up, Alex. I wonder if Sword and Shield's gonna win me over. Honestly, I'm kind of like in a positive mood about it currently. The thing about it though is it's just like I know the story is soulless. That's my biggest complaint with Sword and Shield. Like I guess spoilers for what the bottom line of the video is gonna be, but not a lot of people listen to this shit. And it'll probably sound better in a video anyway, so it's not like I'm giving away everything. But the single player camp, it's like I'm so used to Pokemon being a hero's journey, and that is what I want. And in Sword and Shield, the hero's journey is happening, but you're not a part of it until the very end. Like that's why I hate Leon, because the things that you should be doing as part of your hero's journey, he's just like, no, I got it. You go do your gym challenge.
Man, you could probably go through all of Detour ahead and uh
Uh-huh.
and PVH, and you could probably just take audio clips of yourself and just stitch them all together.
And make that the video.
Just make that the video because you've talked about it so many times.
You ain't gotta call me out like that.
My job. I gotta call you out. I gotta keep you on your toes all the time, every day, all day, every day.
No, I know. I just want to fight the bad guys. When the game's like, oh shit, there's like weird Dynamax Pokemon popping up everywhere. Like, what? This is crazy. What are we gonna do? I'm like, yeah, baby, here we go. It's time for the 10-year-old to save the world. Then Leon's like, nah. I got this, buddy. You go away. You go over there. I'll do the hero stuff. Until the very end when he gets fucked over and then you have to step in, but it's not earned. You haven't been following this story the whole time. It's just like, oh, suddenly there's bad shit happening that Leon can't handle alone, and now you get in there right before the end of the game.
Makes sense.
Yeah, end rant. Let's talk about the actual, or I guess how you been.
Well, I mean, I updated everybody on the Halloween party. Um, Other than that, not much else has been going on. I got some family stuff coming up at the end of the week.
Good
Uh,
times.
let's see. I got a job interview tomorrow.
Ooh,
Yeah, new. Hopefully, I get the job. I really hope so because on. I'm kind of banking on getting the job, but I'm not. You're not supposed to like.
put
I'm
all
kind
your
of
eggs in
breaking my
that
own
basket.
chicken. I'm kind of breaking my own chicken rule here. I'm definitely 100% counting all of my chickens before they hatch. So
But don't worry about her chicken. She knows what she's doing.
Well, everybody else needs to fuck off and not worry about my chickens, but I'm worrying about them too much. I'm consistently counting them all day, every day, every all day,
Every all day.
every all day.
You better will.
But yeah, it's alright. Just chilling, hanging out, not really
Vibing.
doing much, just vibing, spending too much money.
Yeah, I feel that. I gotta save some money for my trip. After the podcast, I'll be buying my ticket to Five Nights at Freddy's the movie to go with Jason, and I'm gonna try to not spend any more money from that point on for the rest of the week. Save the rest of it for the trip. I will get paid one more time before the trip, but still try to stack some paper so I ain't gotta worry about it. So I can just have a good time and eat some food if I want to. And I'm sure if I end up hanging out with my dad for as long as is intended, I'm gonna have to pay for his ass to eat if I want to eat somewhere nice. So gotta stack that paper.
Gotta get that bread,
That's right.
gotta make that hay.
Exactly. What are we talking about today, Alex?
Oh, nice fucking transition, Riely. You fucking piece of shit. Nice fucking transition. You got like a couple seconds of silence.
Well, the silence won't be there, so it'll be even better because it's just like completely unrelated conversation. And then, what are we talking about today, Alex? Just immediately.
I don't know. No, we're talking. Obviously, everybody knows what we're talking about because we talked about it at the beginning of the episode. We're talking about Halloween because we're actually doing a
Ooh,
spooky episode this week.
spooky. Ooh.
This week? No, we're actually doing a spooky episode this year. So we're going to talk about Halloween. Riley, what's Halloween for those listeners who?
What is Halloween?
What is a Halloween?
Do I even know what is a Halloween? I will try to regale it to you. So Halloween is a holiday where it's spooky time, and everybody puts up spooky decorations and dresses up in costumes and shit, and then they go trick or treating or go to parties if they're adults. So kids, they go around in their costumes and they get candy. And adults, they go around in their costumes and they go drink a lot and get laid.
Is
Halloween.
that what happens at Halloween parties?
That's what I hear happens for
Is
like
that
cool
what? Because
people.
that's not what happens for my party.
That's what I hear happens for the Chads and the Stacys out there. But that's Halloween.
The Chads and the Stacys.
Yes, don't worry about it.
That's right. That's our motto here. Don't worry
Don't
about it.
worry about my chickens.
Forget about it. Why am I getting a Discord notification? Anyway, yeah. I'm talking about Halloween. Halloween, ween ween.
Ween.
Um, what are you laughing at now?
I was laughing at the fucking silence in the air.
No,
Followed
my
by,
brain just decided to stop fucking
followed
working.
by the and then I was
Riely, have you been to a Halloween party lately?
I haven't been to a Halloween party.
You know what a Halloween
Period.
party is?
Wow, I wonder what a Halloween party is. Let me think about it.
What is a Halloween party?
I would imagine it's a party that takes place on or around Halloween, where people show up in Halloween costumes. That would be my bet as to what a
Oh, you got it right.
Halloween party would be.
Okay. Do you have any costume ideas that you would want to do or have done?
Uh, I haven't dressed up as anything concrete in a long time. Like when I was a kid, I would get like prepackaged costumes. Like in kindergarten, I was a doctor. Uh, I was a, I was a very shitty Power Ranger once. I think it was just literally
Which
like
one?
the red Mystic Force Ranger.
See, it's not the Green Ranger, so
True, that would have been good. But
your entire opinion doesn't matter now because it's not the Green Ranger.
that's true. That's true. But yeah,
Yeah,
you know, I had costumes. The one time I took initiative and like did something unique, I've talked about it before. It was when I did my Future Trunks costume, where I got myself the outfit from the special where he kills the androids, the fucking black tights and the black tank top. Got me a purple wig and a fake sword, and there I was.
Didn't you do a grandma as well?
I did. That's true. That was somebody else's project. I was hanging out at my friend's house on Halloween, and he was gonna go trick or treating. I was like, I guess I'm just gonna like go home because I don't have a costume. And originally, they were all dressed up like. So I think somebody was a cop. I think it was like a law enforcement type theme. The dog was a little burglar. It was really cute. And originally they put me in like a big gown, and I was gonna be a judge. But then the, the mother was struck with inspiration, and I went off theme a little bit, and I got myself a nice old lady wig, an outfit that an old lady would wear, some fake glasses and a cane, and I transformed into an old lady, and it was fun. And there's a picture of it on Twitter somewhere. It's been a couple of years. It would probably be a little bit difficult to find, but it's there.
Um, yeah. Did we talk about this last week or was this after the podcast?
It might have been, but we might have talked about this last week, to be honest.
Fuck it. I don't care.
But this is the Halloween episode, so
This
it's
is the
on theme.
Halloween episode. This is a Halloween. Um, so ever since I started cosplaying again, Halloween has kind of lost its luster a little bit.
Yeah,
For you, Halloween is like the one time a year where you get to dress up as whatever you want. I have 3 more of those throughout the year.
very true.
Um, I really don't remember all of my Halloween costumes. It's been a while since I went like trick or treating and I did go as Ash Ketchum. The last Halloween party I went to besides this year.
Yeah,
I went as Ash Ketchum. Let's see. That was probably the first adult costume I ever did. Like one where I spent my own money and did it, which was it was pretty fun. It was a great party. Got absolutely smashed.
my first adult costume was nondescript cat warrior.
Really. You want to describe
But
that?
I talked about that last week, I think too. But it was just a very last minute slapdash because they were doing the Halloween event at work, and I didn't want to be the only one who showed up without any sort of costume. So I went to the fucking dollar store Halloween section, and I just bought like a masquerade mask that had cat ears and a fake sword, and that was my costume.
See, I feel like what you gotta do is you gotta bite the bullet. All right, you got hear me out. All right,
Okay.
Fat Hitler, because people like you get it, right? It's a joke. It's you're not Hitler. You're Fat Hitler. There's a
Yeah.
difference. And the fact that you laughed means you may or may not do it at some point in time, which I think is funny.
I'd be perfectly willing to do that. I would post a picture on Twitter. It would be great.
Fat Hitler. I feel like it's great because it's like nobody's gonna expect Hitler, but when Riely shows up weighing 400 pounds looking like Hitler, people are gonna laugh and find it funny.
It's
They're like, "Oh,
perfect.
you can't do that." Be like, "Well, I'm Fat Hitler," and they're gonna
Yeah,
laugh.
I'm not Hitler. I'm Fat Hitler.
Look, if you come up here, we'll do Hitler duo. All right.
Fat Hitler and Skinny Hitler.
No, I was gonna say Fat Hitler and the girl in the striped pajamas.
Oh my god. You should
Oh
do no, no,
man.
no. Here's what you have to do, right? We have to be the Hitler pair. I have to, listen. If I'm gonna be Fat Hitler, you got to commit too. Here's the pitch, right? So I'm Fat Hitler.
Okay.
You're slutty Hitler.
Slutty Hitler. Excuse me.
Because that's the Halloween thing, right? Is all the women dress up as like a slutty nurse, a slutty vampire. You have to be
I thought
slutty
about doing
Hitler.
something like that this year, but I ran out of time. Also, my confidence is not high enough to do something like that. Maybe next year though.
Fat
Do I
Hitler and
just have
slutty Hitler.
swastikas covering
Next year,
covering
I
like
next year I might be with you. Fat Hitler and slutty Hitler.
am I just gonna like have my tits out and instead of just nothing, just have like little swastikas sitting there? Is that it? Is that your idea? No, Discord's cutting out your fucking laugh.
Yeah, that happens. That's an unfortunate side effect of recording with a Discord
Well, it's
bot.
an unfortunate. It's an unfortunate. You could also almost say it's a minor inconvenience.
True.
Oh man, that's probably one of my best ideas I've had all year. Dressing Riely up for Halloween as Fat Hitler because they can't get mad at Fat Hitler. It's a joke. It's funny.
Exactly.
Who's gonna get mad about someone doing Fat Hitler? Anyway,
I think that'd be pretty fat phobic of you if you did that. If you were mad about Fat Hitler, you'd be pretty fat phobic, I think.
I'm surprised you haven't tried to do something like. I feel like if someone gave you like, let's say $500 to $1,000, I feel like you would go all out and try and do something from the Dick Show.
Bro, if my Halloween was funded, I would fucking yeah.
I feel like you'd go as Asterios.
Bro, if I did the Asterios Halloween costume, nobody would know who I was, but it'd be very funny.
It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you know who you are, and you can
It would
also
get
post it to Twitter, and you will also more than likely get invited on the show.
probably get me the Asterios retweet.
But let's
Well, the thing
see.
is, I can't. Those two sides don't cross over anymore. If I want to tag Dick in it, I can't tag Asterios in it.
That is unfortunate. You could go as Apostrophos.
True.
Get the little Muppet nose. Everybody loves Muppets.
The thing that I don't think is plain to see because I got you into the Dick Show and I got you into Biggest Problem because I love Dick Masterson. I think I am a bigger fan of Asterios than Dick. It
That
might
makes
be
sense,
about
though.
equal, but like I'm very into Asterios.
Anyway, I'm gonna pull us away from this real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this is going down a hole, and I don't want to go down that hole. I think I went as like a Grim Reaper one year. I had the stereotypical like little skeleton bodysuit one year as well. It's a little harder to do like actual costumes without adding a hoodie to it because I am from Ohio, so it does get cold around this time of year. Except for some reason it was 78 degrees today, but it was 38 yesterday, so it's fucking Ohio, right?
That's pretty wacky.
Dude, it's whack. I hate it here. I want to get out so bad, but But let's see. There was one year where I was doing like a Grim Reaper thing. It was one of the last years. My sister, who was much younger at the time, was doing. I think she did a Hannah Montana. She went in much earlier than my other sister and I. So what I did was we went and switched not switched costumes, but I literally just went and took the Hannah Montana wig and then just went right back out and started getting more candy.
Base.
Oh, absolutely. It was great. It was one of the last years I ever went trick-or-treating.
That's the unfortunate part about living in my small little neighborhood where I might be. The weird thing about me is people just like know me and like me. I don't even know how it happens. Like
You're a
there'll be
very likable
people.
guy, though.
Yeah, I guess so. Like there are people who I feel like I've never even met before that like know me and like me actively. And I'm just like, yeah, cool. So the two Halloween costume grift would never work for me because everybody in my neighborhood knows me.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. I think
The other thing about my neighborhood is a lot of people have candy, but not a lot of people trick or treat. So I do sometimes I get the faithful bowl dump. That's the like when it's getting around the end of the night and the trick or treaters don't be hitting it up. Sometimes they'll just be like, you know what, we're packing it in for the night. They'll just pour their whole candy bowl in my bag.
that explains a lot.
Hey, you fucker.
I had to. You set me up.
Yeah, I did. You're right.
Look, you didn't get offended by me saying you should do Fat Hitler. I really think it would be really funny if we did Fat Hitler and the girl in the striped pajamas.
I feel like we would get lynched though.
Oh, well, yeah, of course we would. But it'd be great. You got to do it with the right group of friends.
That's
And
true.
I have the right group of friends, so I'm not too worried about getting lynched by said group of friends. But I also feel like there might be a little disdain if I introduce you via Halloween party and I just walk in with Fat Hitler. Some questions might
either
arise.
there's disdain or maybe I become a legend.
Well, we already have someone in the group whose nickname is Legend, but that's a whole story for another podcast.
Well, I don't have to be the legend, just a legend.
A legend. That makes sense, yeah. I remember I went as when I was much younger, like still needed a parent to follow me around kind of deal. For Halloween, I did Woody as one year, Buzz Lightyear another year, which was cool. I did Sully from Monsters Inc.
That's fun.
Oh yeah, it was great. Are there any like future Halloween costumes that you would want to do?
Well, besides the Asterios costume, which you put in my head and would be very funny, let's see. What can I dress up as? I guess I don't really know. There's a lot of shit that I like that I would like to dress up as. I guess the pipe dream is a Power Rangers costume, but like it is really expensive to get your hands on a good one of those.
Obviously, Green Ranger, right?
Well, yeah, one of his forms, maybe the white one, but same guy.
Okay. I don't think you can go as the White Ranger just because you already plan on doing Fat Hitler. I feel like that might raise a couple questions.
Listen, he doesn't say white power. That's a meme. He doesn't say that. He's very clear. He says White Ranger power. Very clear. No,
they were very specific in
no white
production.
power was had. That's one of my many Power Rangers hot takes. It is the cultural norm to be like Tommy was the best when he was the Green Ranger, but I'm like, nah, man, the White Ranger, bro, much better. The thing about the Green Ranger they don't tell you because nobody remembers this because they just like him because they watched the show when they were 9 and he looked cool and had a cool golden shield. is because of the Japanese footage limitations, they had to write him out of shit a lot, and it got very silly. Like it just became like, oh, the Welcome to America's favorite game show. Why can't Tommy be there this week? A bunch of the fucking dumb bad guys that get their asses kicked every week just fucking caught him in like a net trap once, like they were fucking Team Rocket. It's like, oh no, I conveniently dropped my morpher immediately after getting caught in this net. Whatever shall I do?
Whatever shall he do? I feel like in terms of Halloween costumes I would want to do, a contender for this year was actually doing cheerleader, but I did not like the costume that was bought off Amazon. So I'm like, I scrapped the idea. I got to take it back because I don't really want it. I don't know, man. I've never like I said, cosplay and Halloween clash a lot because Halloween is like now it's like you go as indistinct characters rather than actual characters from shows. For me, anyway, because you save those for the convention. So like that gets a little complicated because if you're gonna do a character, you do it for what?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like if I want to do Shinobu from Demon Slayer, I'm gonna save that for a convention rather than just a Halloween party. Because I'll get more attention there than I will at the Halloween party. And you know, Halloween is all about attention, at least for me anyway, especially with cosplay too. I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot that, like, now that my Halloween party is past, I kind of just everything that was in my head of like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. They're just all gone, just wiped from existence. I do want to do an Eevee cosplay at some point, either Eevee or one of the evolutions.
I've always wanted to just once. I'm like, I always pitch this to like friend groups. I'm like, bro, listen. You know this would be the funniest shit in the world. If somebody funds it, I am fully willing to entirely feminize. I will put a dress on. I will put a fucking wig on. I will put makeup on. I will do it.
Yeah. Dude, makeup is a bitch though. You're getting yourself into a sticky situation here.
I'm gonna be the hottest girl at the Halloween party.
That was another easy setup, but I'm just gonna let it pass.
Actually, be the fattest girl at the Halloween party.
I was gonna say you were gonna be the only girl at the Halloween party.
True, so true. But where are you gonna be?
Huh?
But where are you gonna be?
Outside.
There you go.
I was gonna take one look at you and be like, she needs this more than I do. It's alright. I'll take the L. I don't want to outshine this absolute beauty.
This big, beautiful woman.
I want to do one of the evolution cosplays. Costumes.
Don't do Vaporeon. Don't do Vaporeon. Don't do Vaporeon.
That was going to be my choice. Was Vaporeon.
Don't do Vaporeon.
I was going to do Vaporeon because I want to do Sylveon, but Vanessa already chose Sylveon, so I'm like, well, fuck. I don't like any of the other ones, so I guess I'll do Vaporeon because I feel like it's funny.
Sylveon is the only one you like? What are you talking about?
I like Leafeon.
Okay, do Leafeon.
Well, Val already chose Leafeon.
Ah, heck.
I'd do Eevee. I feel like I could pull off
Glaceon. Glaceon would be a pretty costume.
Nah, I want to do Vaporeon just because of the memes.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think Glaceon gets enough love. Probably because he sucks, because he's a pure ice type. But like, I like him nice. I think he's very well designed.
Glaceon gets love now in Gen 9. Now that they got rid of Hail.
Wouldn't that be bad for Glaceon?
No, all ice types get a buff in defense because of snow.
I thought that was already the case with Hail.
Nope.
Huh. Yeah, I think Gen 4 had it right with the evolutions. They weren't coming to play, bro. They fucking brought in Leafeon, who's the best one. and Glaceon, who I really think is up there, personally.
I
He's
wish
probably
we'd
like
get more
number 3
evolution.
for
I
me.
was really hoping we would get like a steel type Eevee for Gen 8.
It was a pattern. I was really expecting them for Gen 8.
It was literally the perfect opportunity to release a steel type.
It's like, obviously we got them in Gen 1.
Just to counter Fairy.
Yeah. Like, obviously we got them in Gen 1 because of that's when Eevee happened. And then Gen 2 we got Espeon and Umbreon. Then Gen 4 we got Leafeon and Glaceon. Then Gen 6 we got Sylveon. So I was really expecting that Gen 8 would bring us at least one new one. But that did not end up being true.
I've heard the new rumors are they're gonna do, not rumors, fan theories, I should say. It's not rumors. The new fan theory is no more evolutions. They're gonna do a new Pokemon that has 8 evolutions to counter all the EVs. A new Eevee that has basically covering the rest of the types.
Well, the thing is, I think it's based on pre-physical special split what the types were, because I think all the special types are covered, and that was kind of Eevee's thing, and now there's going to be a physical equivalent.
Yeah, but it's going to be a brand new Pokemon, kind of like Eevee, that has 8 evolutions.
That's what I'm saying.
Or at least that's what people hope for, but you know, Pokemon Company doesn't like its fans, so. Because if Pokemon Company liked people, they would give us a way to actually play the old game.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about that, though.
God fucking damn it. Don't remind me about fucking game. Fucking
Anyway, you know what else? You know what else comes with Halloween?
What?
Besides the costumes, the parties, and the candy?
What?
The movies.
Whoa.
How's that for a transition?
Whoa.
Rather than 5 seconds of silence. So what's our topic today? So originally we were supposed to go watch movies that the other picked out, but that didn't happen. So we'll just talk about them now. Riely.
I should have tricked you.
What? And make me look stupid?
I should have tricked you. I should have not told you that I didn't have time until after you had already watched Jason X.
I thought about watching it, and then another movie took its place, but I'll get to that in a minute.
Fair enough.
So tell me about Jason X.
Jason X is not a scary movie, but it is technically a horror movie. It is the 10th entry, of course, in the Friday the 13th series. You see, these are the horror movies I like. They're just like the shitty, cheesy slasher films where a guy runs around and kills some sexy teens, and that's the movie.
Oh man, I really should have went first. You talking about Jason X would have been a perfect segue into. It's fine.
But Jason X is the 10th movie in the franchise, and at this point, they decided this was already kind of the case. There had already been a few silly ones, but at this point, they were just like, fuck being like serious in any way. We're just gonna get crazy with this shit. And they brought Jason to the future and into space.
Okay, yeah. I've heard a little bit about it. I have not seen it, obviously. But I knew Jason gets Terminator-ified, basically.
Yeah, so he
goes on a killing spree in space, and that's all I know. I know.
The movie starts off in the far-off year of 2010.
So far away.
Where Jason has been contained, but an evil, corrupted guy, he's like, we can't just like get rid of him. We gotta like test him and like see what makes him so immortal, so we can like make other people like that. And then the girl, who is our main character, is like, no, we gotta get rid of him. Like, this guy's fucked up. We finally got him. We gotta fucking just like get rid of him. But then, they don't dispose of him quick enough, so he escapes and he starts killing and murdering and stuff. And he's only stopped when the girl, I believe her name was Rowan or some shit. I'll just keep calling her Rowan. That's close to right, I think. Fucking Rowan lures him into a cryogenic freezing chamber, but then Jason stabs her through the chamber, and the cryogenic shit starts leaking out. So they both get cryogenic frozen. And then, 1,000 years later, some space boys come on down to Earth. They find frozen Jason and frozen Rowan, and they take them. And then Jason gets unfroze, then he comes back to life and he starts killing people on the spaceship. And it's like and it's a good fun time. There's a lot of really cool shit. Like one of the most famous kills in Friday the 13th history happens in Jason X. It's like the one thing people talk about from Jason X is the first kill in the movie, actually. The first kill on the spaceship, the first kill that's not part of the 2010 intro part, where this like scientist chick is like she's like doing like an autopsy on Jason, like she thinks he's dead, and she's like fucking with his body and shit. And then while she's not looking, he fucking stands up, and there's like a fancy little like futuristic like cryogenic freezing sink where it's just like you put shit in there and it freezes.
So
And
liquid
he
nitrogen,
Yeah,
basically.
basically yes, and he sticks her face in it and then smashes her face on the counter.
Okay.
And that's one of the most famous kills in the franchise, and it's pretty fucking cool.
I wish I would
Uh,
have watched it. I got distracted last night with a different movie.
but yeah, there's a lot of fun kills. There's a lot of twists and turns. There's one of the funniest scenes in the movie is so the whole franchise is like Jason was a young boy who drowned as a child because he was at Camp Crystal Lake, and the counselors were too busy fucking each other to notice that he was drowning. So throughout all 9 movies up to this point, it has been his mission to murder all the teenage camp counselors who are too busy fucking. And there's a part where they distract him by putting him in a simulation world, and the simulation world is just like two sexed up teen girls that are like that are like, hey, you want to do some drugs and have some premarital sex? And then they say that, and it just cuts to Jason beating them against a pole in sleeping bags.
My man's on a mission.
That's right. It's such a good movie. I love this movie so much. People like don't like it because it's not like it doesn't take itself seriously, but that's why I think it's amazing and one of my top 10 movies of all time.
Okay, okay. Um, so you said that this is just basically a silly slasher film, right?
Yep.
So my original choice for you to watch was Sinister, which is the complete opposite. It is a nightmare thriller about a demon who lives in like film. Possesses, I believe, the youngest child over time, and basically the youngest child kills the family, and they've done it multiple times, and they record it all on like this super old reel of film, like old timey film. However,
Yeah.
we're gonna stay on track with stupid slasher films here.
Real quick, I'm sorry to step on you, but I just thought of like 2 or 3 more jokes that I want to share to
Oh, go
you and
ahead,
our
yeah.
listeners at home. So there is a part where the like shitty sleazy teacher on the spaceship, like some because it had to be like teenagers, like some of them are there on like there's like teenagers on a space field trip,
Of
and
course.
then there's like this sleazy ass teacher guy who runs the ship, and he's an asshole, and he's sleeping with one of his students, and he's just like generally the worst, so you're kind of rooting for him to die. And the way he dies is so funny because Jason shows up and he's like, "Okay, we don't gotta get crazy here. Come on." And Jason just like is looking at his machete, and he's like, "Oh, you just want your machete back? Take your machete." And he gives Jason the machete, and Jason just kind of stands there for a minute, and he's like, "Hey guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back." And then he fucking throws the machete into his back.
That's great.
And, and then there's, I think this is one of the most famous, like, the reason why this movie is too silly scenes, but I love it. I think it's one of the last deaths in the movie is one of the girls gets sucked into like an air vent because they're in space and there's like a bunch of pressure because of something that happened. So she gets like sucked through an air vent and just dies. Like she gets gutted by an air vent. And right before she dies, she yells that this sucks on so many levels. That's a pretty good one. There was one more that I'm struggling to remember now. It was in there. I hate that when there's something in your head and then it just goes away and you're like, shit, what was that? I don't remember, but it's a good movie. There's a lot more.
Seemed very silly.
It's silly, but it's very good silly. But you had a silly slasher movie.
I, instead of watching Jason X last night, decided to watch the new. I don't know if it's new. It says it came out this year. I forget when it actually came out. Was it last year that it came out? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
It was like right at the end of last year or like sometime this year, one of the two.
So around either 22 or 2023, Winnie the Pooh hit public domain. And for those of you who don't know what public domain is, that means that anybody can do whatever they want with the character, which is great.
As long as he doesn't have a red shirt, because Disney owns that. Disney owns red shirt.
Disney owns the little Pooh Bear with the red shirt, but anything else, free game. So, a bunch of British people decided that they would turn Winnie the Pooh into a slasher horror film called Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. And that's what I decided. That's what I decided to watch instead.
How was it?
Very silly, but like,
oh shit, boys,
it's good. Okay, hold
Craig
on.
Shenanigans.
Which one?
Craig. Geark's still good.
Okay. Now, do you care about spoilers?
No.
Because I know this is a new movie, so...
Spoilers for Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, folks. I don't give a shit. It's a fucking slasher movie. I don't care.
It doesn't take... I don't think it takes away from the movie. But, okay. So, I typed up the synopsis. It's relatively long, so I'm going to read it out, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Alright. So, basically, this is what the plot of the movie is, right? Christopher Robin, for anybody who doesn't actually know the story of Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin grows up with these animals in the woods. There's Eeyore, Piglet, Pooh, Rabbit, Owl, Tigger, the whole gang. This movie mainly focuses around Pooh and Piglet. He grows up with them in the 100-acre wood. He leaves them to go to college. And they basically have to fend for themselves. When he was young, he would go to his kitchen and basically, like, steal food for them. And once he goes off to college when he's older, he basically just leaves them. And they have to fend for themselves. Well, they don't know what they're doing. And eventually they become cannibals. And they turn to Eeyore. And they're just like, we're sorry. We're hungry. And Eeyore's like, come on, man, please, we're friends. And
come on, we're homies.
Basically, the group kills Eeyore, and Eeyore is the first to go. Now, they don't explicitly say that the rest of the gang is murdered, but you kind of assume that, because the rest of the movie is just about Pooh and Piglet.
I don't know. I think the rest of the gang isn't public domain yet. It goes by individual. Like they can't use Tigger. He's still fully owned by Disney. He's not public domain yet. I don't know about the others, but I know they can't use Tigger.
I don't think they mentioned Tigger. I distinctly remember something like that. Just because you can't use the name. But you can say an owl, a rabbit. I think Eeyore is in public domain now, but he got murdered, so it
But
doesn't matter.
you can't refer to Tigger in any way because Tigger's a Tigger, and he's the only Tigger. It's very, very established lore. The best thing about Tiggers is that he's the only one.
Okay, all right. I'm getting away from this because this is relatively long because I typed this out while the movie was going.
Okay.
All right. So Pooh and Piglet and the rest of the gang kill Eeyore, and the rest of the gang dies to Pooh and Piglet. They're the reigning champs.
They won the rage in the cage.
They won the rage in the hunt in the woods. So pan to now. This opening scene is all animated, like flipbook animated, kind of.
Yeah.
Now cut to real life actors with Christopher comes back to the 100-Acre Wood. He's got a wife, and he's telling her all about these friends from his childhood, and his wife is very skeptical. She's like, well, I mean, it's okay to have imaginary friends, but we're not going to find them. Blah, 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 blah. You know, being cynical and all that.
They're not real. They can't be real.
They find the sign. They find the sign that labels the 100-Acre Wood, and they find where Christopher Robin used to hang out with all his friends. Although it's a little darker, and he doesn't remember exactly how it was. Now, they're wandering around, they hear a bunch of noise, and they hide. Pooh and Piglet show up. Now, to make this quicker, Pooh and Piglet basically kill his wife in front of him, and then they hold him hostage, and that's all that we know. So now we pan to the movie starts right after that with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That's where the movie starts. Pan to a group of college-age girls going on a stereotypical girls' cabin in the woods trip. And they start getting picked off one by one. There's one that was in a hot tub, the super hot Instagram girl. She dies second. The first one got lost on the way there and was not with the original group of 5. She dies first, like almost immediately. Then the hot tub Instagram girl dies. Let's see. Now there it is. So 3 of 5 remain. And here's where things get interesting. They're running around all scared, like girls in horror movies are. They find Christopher Robin and they free him. And they're like, come on, you gotta go. We gotta get out of here. And he's like, no. There's another girl. You need to go help her. So they leave Christopher Robin, right? Because he's freed, he's done, he's cool. They go to this other girl who's chained up in the woods for some reason, and they free her. Well, she's delirious as fuck, right? Complete nut job, and decides they get her back to one of the houses that Pooh and Piglet stay at, and she sees her reflection, she starts freaking out because they basically, like, mauled the shit out of her. And then out of nowhere, she picks up a gun. Now, I have no idea where this gun came from. I didn't see
completely random gun.
This thing is like if you hold up your hand, it's like double the size. I don't know where the fuck she got it from. None of the other girls were aware of it, but suddenly a gun appears, right? So she tries to kill Piglet, but Piglet just beats her head in for no reason. This other girl had zero, literally meant nothing to this entire movie. I don't know why she was put in. I don't remember her ever being in the movie. Nothing. So that seems a little farcical in my opinion. But
Yeah.
after that little exchange, one of the girls wants to get revenge. She lets her emotions get the best of her, like a lot of women would do. And she actually manages to capture Piglet in where that one girl was, like, tied up and chained up in trees. And she's got a sledgehammer. She's like, this is for so and so, and this is for the other one. And she's like beating him on the head, and he's resilient. He's a fucking trooper. He's like squealing like a pig, trying to get out and everything. Now, what she didn't do was she just should have left him there. But she didn't.
No.
She didn't. She kills him. And in the process of killing him, Piglet lets out a loud-ass squeal and alerts Pooh, who is terrorizing the other girls. Pooh immediately starts doubling back and fucking, like, Michael Myers fast, gets to the girl, and just takes a machete. He grabs her by the throat, pushes her up on a tree, and just shoves the machete slowly through her mouth and just leaves her hanging on the tree. Which is great. She would have lived had she not let her emotions get the best of her. Now, the other two girls hear this altercation. They notice that Pooh ran away from them, so they're running away. They find a car, like on the side, not on the side of the road, but like they hail a car down. Now, this is where I found that this movie's getting a little weird. Like, nonsensical kind of weird. So they find the car rolling down the street, and they like wave it down. The car stops. And do you know what the term "good old boys" means?
Not particularly.
A bunch of like hillbilly good old boys from like West Virginia.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
like that stereotypical Southern white trash trailer park guys.
Got you.
So a bunch of British good old boys hop out of the car. Now they all have British accents, but they're talking like this, like they're from West Virginia.
They're
like,
out here talking like
but they do it with a British accent, and I think it's really, really funny. And I don't know how to combine two of those accents. But they start asking the two girls, they're like, you're delirious, you're on drugs, you're doing this, you're doing that, shut up, we don't really care, you're fine. And then in the headlights of the car, everybody turns around and see Pooh just standing there menacingly, doing nothing. He's just standing there, and everybody's like, oh my god, is that what's been terrorizing you? Blah, 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 blah. So the good old boys are all like, you know what? We're gonna go rough them up. You girls get in the car, we're gonna protect you. So they go and get weapons. No guns, just like a couple bats, a crowbar, and shit from the back of their truck. And they all like surround Pooh, and they're like, you been messing with these girls? You not even gonna talk? You fucking pussy? You doing this, you doing that? And the one dude takes a crowbar and hits the shit out of Pooh in the head. Pooh leans down because of the force. It knocks his head down. He stands back up. This I forgot to mention. Pooh and Piglet are like 6'8", almost 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Am I droning on too much?
No.
Oh, okay. That sounded like wrap it up.
No.
Let's see. Where was I? That's right. So they all start like beating the shit out of Pooh, and then Pooh just takes one of the weapons and just kills all of them in like a single swoop, and just kills all 4 of the good old boys. This causes the 2 girls in the car to panic, and they drive away. Now, this is where I started writing this little script that I wrote down. So by the time I actually start paying attention to the movie, one of the girls is dead, like just big dead. Like I've no idea how she died, but there's only one girl left. She's panicking in the car. Pooh is like rips her out of the car and is about to kill her. Pooh is is right in front of the car with the girl. Out of fucking nowhere, Christopher Robin comes in with a car and smashes it into fucking Pooh's legs.
Oh shit.
and he saves the girl. And you're thinking, oh, this might be the end of the movie. They get away. They killed Pooh. Nah, Pooh is a fucking menace. And he just, with brute force, pulls the cars apart and is still able to walk. And he goes over to the girl and grabs her. So Christopher Robin starts panicking and he's like, please, Pooh, remember all the good times we had as kids. Remember, please. And he's trying to like convince him. He's like, take me instead. I'm the one you want. I'm the one who left you. Don't hurt this girl. She did nothing to deserve this. Just take me instead. Pooh, Winnie the Pooh pauses for a second, looks at Christopher Robin, and then just slits the girl's throat and throws her back to Christopher Robin.
Ah.
And that's the end of the movie.
Heck.
It's a good movie. It's a good watch. It was very silly, knowing like the costumes seem a little low budget. It's literally like some 6-foot like heavy duty dudes, like blue collar built dudes with a like pink hog mask on and then like a Winnie the Pooh face. And they're just like walking around. Pooh runs like oh, I should have wrote that down. I could have compared it to somebody, but it's like one of those little like stiff runs, and it's very nonsensical movie. But I feel like at some point it's a cult classic, and I feel like it's solidified that name as it's solidified a title of it's gonna be a cult classic. Oh
Yeah.
god damn, that was a lot of fucking. I haven't talked that much on a podcast in a very long time. It was a good movie. I highly recommend people watch it.
I want to see this movie. It seems like it's pretty good.
Now, like, obviously, I'm leaving out a lot of details just because I did this at like 10 o'clock at night. I feel like I did a pretty good job of describing the movie. I ad-libbed a lot of my little script that I wrote out last night, but it's a good movie. I honestly feel like it's going to be one of those where it's like, not a lot of people like it, but it's going to have its tiny little following of people who swear that it's a great movie. Little cult classic there. Silly little slasher film. You get to see I think the hot tub girl gets her head crushed by a car.
Ooh.
Where Piglet is literally holding her down and Pooh is in the driver's seat of a car and just slowly rolls over her head. And you get to see the full smashing and it just going to goop. Which is not something you get to see in every movie. Usually it's a lot of like slash and dash and bash, but like it's got a good kill scene where the girl literally gets her head bashed in with Winnie the Pooh driving a car.
That's great. What a
It is
movie.
great.
What a fucking world we live in where this is a real movie.
Oh, I love that this is a real movie. I did have like a whole other like topic. I didn't get a chance to like research it enough. I was going to talk about cryptids too, because those 100% freak me the fuck out too. But we're only an hour and a half.
Yeah, because those are definitely real.
Are you being are you like messing with me, or do you believe in cryptids?
No, I don't believe in cryptids. I'm fucking with you.
Oh man. Do you know what do you want me to get into that, or did you have any thoughts on Winnie the Pooh Blood and Gore from what I just
I don't know, I haven't seen it, but it sounds interesting. I definitely want to see it.
we're almost an hour and a half in. We can pan to some of the more horror aspect, or if there's any other movies you want to bring up, we can do that as well.
I'm trying to think of any other movies. I mean, like, I can't think of any other movie that would be like super interesting to describe in depth. But like, what other movies do you like that you could go into very briefly? What are some of your favorites?
I think some of the best. This is also a little on topic with the new Saw movie coming out. The Saw movies are great. Have you seen Saw?
No,
You haven't seen Saw?
I have not Saw.
You haven't seen Saw.
I have not seen Saw.
That was another contender for a movie for you to watch. Do you know the concept of Saw?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, I didn't know if I had to explain it or not. Yeah, the Saw movies are pretty good. Insidious trilogy, I think it's a trilogy, or maybe there's four. I'm not sure. The Insidious movies are pretty good. The Conjuring universe with Ed and Lorraine Warren, the super famous ghost hunters or paranormal hunters, those are really really good. The Conjuring is a very good movie. It's got a good mix of suspense and jump scares.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of other like nonsensical horror movies. Cabin in the Woods is really really good. Have you seen Cabin in the Woods?
I have not. Crow Royalty wanted me to watch that, and I didn't want to.
Why?
I don't know, because I wanted to watch another movie instead.
Did he at least like give you an incentive of why you should watch it?
I don't think so.
Do you want one? Because it's a
Yeah,
good
what is
one.
it? What is it? Tell me.
So it's the typical a bunch of teenagers go to a cabin in the woods for a retreat kind of deal, like a little vacation. However, things start going bump in the night, and it turns out that the entire area, like the entire wooded area that they're in, is all like a ritual for stuff. It's basically like not like a game show, but like it's like behind the scenes. It's like a set that they invite people on and kill them.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a lot of behind the scenes things that go on that the people in the cabin in the woods aren't aware of. Like there's a whole group of people pulling the strings for things to happen so that they all die.
Oh, interesting.
I'm trying not to spoil too much because I could, but like I'm also trying to make it seem interesting. So it's like Cabin in the Woods movie, but more of a serious take on those dumb 2000s movies where they were all like parody jokes.
Yeah,
It's a more serious parody movie, if that makes sense.
makes sense.
Are you falling asleep?
No,
Okay. I want to make sure Game Show from last week doesn't show up again.
no. We're cool. We're cool as a cucumber here at
You want
Detour
to
Head Enterprises.
get freaked out by cryptids that may or may not be real, but I think are real?
Well, I was going to talk about a couple movies.
Oh, you got movie? Okay, go ahead. We can talk about movies.
So here's one that actually scared me, even though thinking back, it is pretty stupid. It didn't like. I think any horror movie scares me to some extent because it's just like they're built to like build that tensity in you. And even when I'm not necessarily like scared, that tensity builds. There's a movie called Don't Hang Up,
Okay.
where I don't even remember really what the premise was in any sort of depth. It was just like there was a killer and he was over the phone and he was doing shit and he was killing people and he would be on the phone about it and they'd like try to stop him and they'd be like, "Don't hang up. You can't do anything. You gotta stay here on the phone or whatever." And it's like it got really tense. It was some fucked up shit. And then I remember it built the anxiety in me, and then my mom like fucking jump scared me right after the movie. So that was Don't Hang Up. That was my scariest horror movie story. It's not even the movie itself. It was my mom fucking jumping me right after. And obviously I'm into like your classic slashers. I do a Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the movie we watched instead. Was Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge.
I don't think I've
The
seen
gay
any
one.
of them. I've seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I've seen the original Halloween, Friday the 13th. I've seen all the original ones.
But you never delved into the sequels?
I don't think I have. Maybe because I wasn't able to find them at the time, or it was hard to find, or uh, I didn't have the Devil's streaming service yet, so
That's fair. The thing is, I'm really into I'm into the goofy ones, so I like all these like weird later sequels where shit. Like I think one of my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movies, even though people fucking hate this one, is Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, which they just go like full goofball. Like Freddy Krueger, he's killing people, but like other than that, he might as well not even be a villain because he's just a massive goofball.
is it like Pennywise goofball from It?
He becomes like he becomes like a fucking like 90s like he's like the Spider-Man of slasher villains because he just like does
Okay, that
quips.
I fully understand that. Yeah. I will say the original. I have not seen the original It, but the remake that they did a couple years ago was great. It was a really good movie.
I only saw part one.
Part one.
There were two parts.
What?
Yeah, it's it. There's two parts.
Yeah, they released the second movie, wasn't there? When they're older.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it too, basically.
Well, yeah, but it's still the book It. They just split it into two movies. It was It and It Part 2.
Oh, I didn't know it was a part two. I thought it was like a sequel.
No. It
That's why
is
I
a
didn't
bit.
watch it.
The book is a fat fucking book. I have it on my shelf. It's
Well, yeah,
fucking
it's a fucking Stephen
huge.
King book. Of course, it's gonna be fat.
Yeah, so it's all based on the book. It's just split into two parts.
Okay, I didn't know that. What's another good? Have you? I'm assuming because you like the silly, stupid movies. Uh,
Yeah.
this we forgot about the scariest of movies.
What is it?
Scary movies 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5
Funnily enough, I've only seen 5.
with
Ashley
Charlie Sheen.
Tisdale. Charlie Sheen's in like all of them, I think.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's only in the Paranormal Activity spinoff
I'm pretty
parody.
sure Charlie Sheen's in multiple of them.
No, he. That was why it was a big thing. Was because he was in the newest one, this fifth.
No, I thought it was a big thing because he came back because he had been in one of the old ones or multiple of the old ones.
I only remember. Look, it's been a minute since I've seen him. I could be wrong here. All right, I just remember him being in the Paranormal Activity one.
I remember a scene with Charlie Sheen, and I feel like it was a fringe scene I caught from another scary movie rather than Scary Movie 5. I just remember there being a scene where like his like wife is like caught in like some scenario where she's like not dead, but she's like stuck between like a car or something. Like she's not dead now, but like the moment they try to move her out of that situation, she will die. And they have like a conversation about how he's like, I'm gonna miss you, and she's like, you're not gonna sleep with anyone else, right? And he's like,
What other ones are there?
the Child's Play movies.
Oh, with Chucky.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they get goofier when they stop calling him Child's Play and they just call him Chucky.
Yeah.
Bride of Chucky, Kino.
Exactly.
Seed of Chucky, a little bit much, but Bride of Chucky, perfect.
That is on point. That is on the nose. They have a new Chucky movie coming out, don't they?
Yeah, they've been making new ones for a couple years now. They're making a TV show right now.
Oh, is it a TV show that's out?
Yeah, because they had there's like a weird split with Chucky because like there's the newer like Chucky movies that started like about a decade ago. God, 2013 was a decade ago. Kill me. But it was like Cult of Chucky and like fucking something of Chucky or whatever. It was like this series about this like girl who was like in a wheelchair, and she was caught up in a Chucky scenario, and then it was framed that she did it, so she was in a mental asylum, and Chucky also showed up at the mental asylum, and it was like a whole thing, and that was made by like the original creators, and I think the TV show is too. But at some point, the company who actually owns the IP had whole different people make a reboot movie that has nothing to do with any of that. So there was just this random fucking movie, just fucking Child's Play, random fucking Chucky movie that has nothing to do with any of the ones that are coming out right now.
Did you ever see Annabelle?
No.
Oh my god, it's I don't know about jump scares, but like the thriller aspect of you don't know what's going to happen next is great. Annabelle is a very, very good movie to watch. Do you know the story about Annabelle?
No.
You don't know about Annabelle at all?
No. I know it's a movie about a doll. That's all I know.
It's about a doll that gets possessed by, I believe, a demon. And it's rumored it's loosely based on a true story. It's
Yeah.
part of the Conjuring universe. Because apparently the Conjuring universe, there's like a whole cinematic universe surrounding Ed and Lorraine Warren. I mentioned them earlier. They're two real life paranormal like ghost hunters who like demonologists and shit like that.
Yeah.
They have a whole museum filled with haunted shit. And like the one thing that brought them, sadly both of them passed away. I believe Ed Warren passed away a bunch of years ago, and then Lorraine Warren just passed away back in, I believe, 21 or 22. And their museum is currently closed, unfortunately, but part of their museum is the original Annabelle doll, which is a Raggedy Ann doll that is supposedly haunted by like a malevolent being.
Okay. Raggedy Ann getting stabby. Are you still there?
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
Okay.
Look, there's so many. Did you ever watch now that we're almost to the Christmas season, did you ever watch the Krampus movie that came out?
No.
Oh, it's wacky. Do you know the story of Krampus?
Nothing beyond he evil Santa kill people.
So, if you're a bad kid,
Yeah.
instead of getting a visit from Santa and getting a lump of coal, like your parents would tell you, you get a visit from a giant horned beast, like werewolf size, but like thick and muscular, called Krampus,
Sure.
who basically just terrorizes you for the night. And at the end, if I forget the conditions, but basically at the end of the Krampus movie, the kid basically just gets dragged down to hell. It's like the anti-Santa.
Interesting.
It's a very suspenseful movie. It is very good. I love when two different holidays like that. There's also I love when two holidays that like oppose, like one of joy and one of fear, kind of like mix genres a little bit. There's also another one like that is I think one of the most not infamous, one of the most popular Halloween movies to watch is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's a film.
It is a film. You've seen it, right?
Mm, I want to say yes, but I was extremely young and remember not a lot of it.
It's a cult classic. I feel there's like a weird cult following.
My most recent interaction with Nightmare on Elm Street. Fuck, I think Nightmare, and it just autocorrects. With Nightmare Before Christmas, is the Kingdom Hearts world, which kind of drove me a little bit nuts because they just play the loop of "This Is Halloween" instrumental just the whole time, and you get lost a lot in that world. So I'm just like running around like a chicken with my head cut off, not knowing where I'm going, just listening to boop 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 boop, and I'm kind of going crazy.
I do a whole in-depth, maybe not as good as I could do now, but I really don't feel like doing it because I'm lazy. I do a whole in-depth, like, not review, but like informational on the Nightmare Before Christmas like universe, the movie, and then the prequel and sequel video games that came out.
Oh yeah,
I did a whole Pixels, Polygons, and Fun episode on that. It was early on. I forget what
was
episode it is.
I there?
I don't know.
Because I don't remember this almost at all.
I'm
You
not
say it, and
sure.
I recall the existence of these video games, and maybe I learned it from you, but I remember like nothing you said about them.
So if anybody wants to actually go listen to that, I know that this is against shit. When was Gingy on last? Video games. Here we go. Let's go to buzzsprout.com/200307 or Pixels, Polygons, and Fun, wherever podcasts can be found.
Hell yeah.
Give our friend Raging Gingy a little plug there. I'm actually genuinely curious.
You should only listen to the episodes from August 2021 or before.
Oh god, did he stop naming his episodes?
Yes.
Oh god, that's terrible, Gingy.
Bro. Don't get me on the Gingy tangent. Oh my god. I'm ready to fucking tear into this man.
Alright, was it?
Listen, I've said this to him. I've said it publicly before. I'll be quick, but you brought it up. He's not naming the show anymore. He's recording it with OBS, and the audio leveling is terrible. He keeps doing things that do not work with an audio medium. I don't know what's going on over there. The worst thing that happened to that show was me leaving. There needs to be some level of whipping into shape, and nobody's doing it.
Okay.
I try to do it.
Okay.
What was it?
I forgot. I have a whole Google Doc of all the episodes.
You do?
I do. Not every single one. It goes all the way up to 121. Because that's when I stopped doing it.
We didn't even have Dick Masterson on 108. You almost met Dick Masterson years before your loving relationship began. Because he was slated for Pixels 108, but then it fell through.
Then we decided to do Last of Us 2 for that.
Yeah, because we didn't get Dick, so we got Penguin instead.
It was episode 66 of Pixels, Polygons, and Fun, where I go in depth with the Nightmare Before Christmas universe. I think the only reason I bring this up is because I saw a TikTok on it, and this is not my original idea. I don't know who had it, but it's not mine. You know the concept of Oogie Boogie, right?
I'm familiar with Oogie Boogie.
Do you know why?
I fought him as a boss in Kingdom Hearts. I know who he is.
Okay, do you know why Jack Skellington and Oogie Boogie hate each other?
No, why?
Well, I guess Jack Skellington doesn't really hate Oogie Boogie. He's just like, he tells the Lock, Stock, and Barrel, the three kids with the masks, to be like, hey, don't be fucking around with that dude, alright? And they're like, yeah, fuck you, old man. So I saw a fan theory on this. Jack Skellington represents modern day Halloween of fun and jokes, while Oogie Boogie represents old Halloween, the old era of fear and actual scares. And that's why Oogie Boogie is so resentful, because he used to rule the world of Halloween Town with fear, and then things switched over to the modern day of Halloween is more fun, and that's why Jack Skellington is in charge. And Oogie Boogie has basically been cast out because they don't believe in fear. and I
That
thought
makes
that was
sense.
super interesting.
That is super interesting. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It
That's
does
a
make a lot of
cool
sense. Brings so
dichotomy.
much. It makes the movie seem so much better knowing that. I don't understand this weird cult behind Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a good movie. It's good to watch once a year, if that. But like, there's so many people who are like, it's a great movie. It's one of the best Halloween movies out there. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand why everybody's like, this is one of the greatest movies of our time. And
Oh
I'm
my
just like,
god.
it's not.
I oh my god. I forgot to mention the Halloween thing. This is something new I discovered, and I might have to watch this every year just because how absurd it is. So I already had this for Christmas because I knew about the Christmas specials. Obviously, I've talked about it plenty of times that I've been watching a whole lot of Power Rangers, and for a very long time, because I had the season 3 Christmas special on VHS as a kid, which was called "I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger," where the Power Rangers go to Santa's workshop because Santa's workshop has been taken over by the bad guys, and they're forcing the elves to make evil spinning tops that will brainwash all of the children into being evil. And the Power Rangers have to go to Santa's workshop, but because of Santa's special magic, their powers don't work there. But neither do the bad guys. So they beat the bad guys by just pelting them with snowballs. And it's a very fun episode. I watch it like every Christmas. There's also another one called Season to Remember, which was season 4, where they get a spell put on them where they hate each other and they disagree about their Christmas traditions. But then a little girl sings to them and it breaks the spell. It's very cute. I watch that one every Christmas too. But I didn't know there were Halloween specials because there weren't for a very long time. But in the modern era, for the last like few Power Rangers series, it has become a tradition to do a Halloween special. And one of the Halloween specials for Power Rangers Dino Charge, I still like I think about it to this day, and I still just like break into laughter whenever I even think about what happened in this episode. Now the lame thing about the holiday specials in modern Power Rangers is that they're mostly clip shows. But the clip shows are framed within a bunch of weird different frameworks. In this Halloween special, the monsters are trying to get the Power Rangers like arrested for like the spirits of dead monsters are trying to get like the Power Rangers arrested for killing them. And where the method by which they're doing this is they're in Halloween courts, where the judges and jury are just a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns. And this is just like a thing that exists in space and is like the Halloween court's fucking authority is absolute. You go to Halloween court, that shit's do or die. Halloween court, most important shit. You go to Halloween, you found guilty in Halloween court, you're done, bro. The Power Rangers were in deep shit. They were gonna get Halloween court found guilty, and it was gonna be over for them.
Halloween Court.
Because of these jack-o'-lanterns in Halloween court.
I thought you were going to say jackasses in Halloween Court.
Jack-o'-lantern jackasses in Halloween court. And of course, the rest of it, it's just like a clip show. Like they're like the monsters are like, oh, they mercilessly killed me, and then one of the Power Rangers is like, that's not what happened. You tried to destroy the city or whatever, and then we killed you because you did that. But the fact that they're defending themselves to a jury of jack-o'-lanterns in Halloween court.
And this is Power Rangers.
Yes.
You lost me for a while with Halloween Court, and I completely forgot that you were talking about Power Rangers.
Yes, the Power Rangers are put on trial in Halloween court by an evil lawyer monster who brings back spirits of dead monsters to try to make the Power Rangers look like bad guys so that the Halloween
Evil
court
lawyer monster?
yes. And he tries to He tries to get the Power Rangers found guilty in Halloween court, so they'll be destroyed. Because that's what happens if you're found guilty in Halloween court, is they destroy you.
Because it's absolute. Yeah.
Exactly. Fucking Halloween court, man. I will never recover.
I legit can't get over the idea of Halloween court.
I know.
Do you remember that weird 3D modeling back in like the 2000s Halloween movie where the kids go to like the scary monster house?
No.
Oh, what was that called?
Wait, are you talking about the movie Monster House?
No, 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 no. Not like actual monster house. It was like where a bunch of monsters.
We're in a house?
Yeah, like the 2000s Halloween family.
Gremlins?
No, no.
Alex, what are you talking about?
I know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Hold on. I'm not crazy. I know. Wait, they did a Winnie the Pooh Halloween movie
I'm
called
sure there was.
Pooh's Heffalump Halloween movie.
Yeah. They probably went on a little trick-or-treating adventure. Pooh and his friends. Tigger probably bounced around a little bit. Might have said the best thing about Tiggers is that there's only one.
Ah, here it is. Scary Godmother Halloween Spooktacular.
Ah.
Do you remember?
What?
Do you
Never heard of it.
from 2003?
I was one.
Oh, you probably haven't seen it then. This is another one of those where it's just a really shitty movie, but
That
it's
was
a
probably the
cult
year I
classic.
dressed up as a pumpkin and hated it. I gotta find those pictures, bro. I gotta call my grandmother's husband and be like, man, can I find these, you gotta let me look for these fucking pictures. It's just like little baby me. I'm in a pumpkin costume. And I'm just so angry about it. I'm so grumpy. Just the fire of rage in my small infant eyes that I'm being paraded around in this pumpkin costume.
I'm trying to get you a picture, but this shit
Something
ain't
about
working.
something about babies and There's also a really adorable picture of me in a Santa costume as a baby. It's like because I used to go to a campground where they did like little events during the side. They did Christmas in July, and there's a picture of from Christmas in July. There's fucking like I think real Santa is in the picture on the hayride. And then it's my grandmother holding baby me in a little Santa costume, and I'm sleeping, and it's very adorable.
I sent the picture of Scary Godmother movie
Okay.
in Detour Head. I want to see if that rings any bells.
This does ring bells. I feel like I remember literally nothing about this, but I have seen it.
It says as seen on Cartoon Network, so I'm assuming that's where it first aired.
I probably like caught it on Cartoon Network some year because like the witch looks vaguely familiar. The little girl looks very familiar for some reason. I've
Really
seen this.
annoying little piece of shit. Her brother dresses up as a devil, and all the monsters at the house like fuck with him the entire night for literally no fucking reason.
Yeah,
It's one of those kids movies where like I don't know. I vaguely remember this movie being somewhat okay.
it's probably interesting at the very least. Do we okay? Do we have anything else to say? Oh, you want to talk about cryptids, right?
I mean, we're coming up on 2 hours. We can save cryptids for look. I could do an entire full episode on cryptids. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Real quick, stop me if you've talked about this last week, or stop me if you just like want to veto this entirely. One tiny little political conversation, real quick, that I feel like we might have mentioned last week because I have a very vague, like faint memory in my head.
okay,
Did,
keep going.
did we talk about Biden joining Truth Social?
We did not. What's Truth Social?
Oh, you don't know. You're a Trump fan? You don't know what Truth Social is? Trump got
Once
kicked off of Twitter and he made his own. Truth Social is Trump Twitter.
I knew that Trump had his own Twitter. I just never ventured over to Trump Twitter.
Yeah, it's called Truth Social. And it's been around for a while, and the Trump's been posted on there, people posted on there. I have an account on there. I don't think I've ever posted anything, but I did make an account. And apparently the Biden administration decided that they were going to have an account on Truth Social.
Why?
I don't know. But it's interesting for sure, and it's apparently this is the cool thing for Trump. He's being very civil about it. There's
Of course, because he's a good man.
of course he's not. He's still shitting all over Biden, but
No, he's a good man. He would never kick anybody off his platform. His platform is all about free speech.
Here's a truth that he sent. I got an email because I signed up for Truth Social, so they really want to tell me about Trump welcoming Biden to Truth Social. He sent a truth that says, we're heading to World War III because of grossly incompetent leadership, headed by a president that doesn't have a clue. Although he did have the sense to just join Truth, the real voice of America. Congratulations, Joe. At least on that. I still don't understand. I got the email when it first happened, like, oh, look, the Biden administration is on Truth Social, and it's like, excuse me? Like, I thought it was a troll, but no, it's a verified account.
I wonder why they're joining Truth Social.
Well, because they want to try to change people's hearts and minds, I guess. They want to clear them of all their malarkey and tell them to shut up, man.
Look, nothing, no malarkey, no funny business is going to happen on Trump's platform. I can tell you that.
Listen.
He won't stand for it.
Listen, Trump is definitely the funnier man. In the war of funny, Trump runs 1,000 circles around Joe Biden. The "will you shut up, man" thing was pretty funny. I will. That is credit that I will give Joe Biden. I think that was really funny. Will you shut up, man?
I mean, yeah, like, this dude doesn't need to be talking 24/7 about just fucking nonsense.
No,
Did you see the clip of
Biden
him
said
getting...
that to Trump.
Did you see the clip of Biden getting hounded by the press and not having anything to, like, no script to read off of, so he's ad-libbing responses?
No, I have not seen that clip.
There's a whole clip of him getting on Air Force One, getting bombarded but with questions, and he sounds stupid as fuck, doesn't know what he's talking about, and his entire administration is standing around him and they look terrified. And it's honestly such a comforting feeling seeing everybody terrified of what their precious little leader is going to say next.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Oh, it's a great time.
Yeah, but I'm very interested to see the developments of fucking
If you think that Biden is doing this or the administration is trying to get in on, like, new minds, they're not gonna break anybody on Trump's platform.
well, I mean, people on it's possible somebody just made a Truth Social is a social media platform that tries to advertise itself to people. It's definitely possible. There might be a 0.5% user base that is just like they found it and they're like, "Ooh, a social media platform." And they're not like super Trumpers. There are liberals on Truth Social. Most of them are there because they know it's Truth Social and they want to fuck around. But I imagine some of them just were like, "Ooh, social media."
Man, I wish I was funny. I wish I could, like, post funny things to Twitter.
Do it. You are funny.
I'm not that fun. Like, I can't think of anything funny because anytime I think of something, I'm always working. So I'm just like, oh well, I'll get to it later.
You should be writing these things down in the notepad on your phone and then tweeting them when you get home.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, well, then don't be a Twitter funny man. I'm just trying to help.
You want me to just start going off on stupid shit on Twitter?
Yes.
I feel like Demigloom would 100% unfollow me at some point in time.
You'd probably have several fights with Demigloom.
Like, the only thing that comes to mind right off the bat is literally just stupid shit about how cops are literally out to steal people's money. And that's all that they're good for, is writing
I don't know
tickets.
that Demigloom would necessarily disagree with you on that.
They're literally just out to steal money from, like, there's no reason an unmarked police car should be hiding on the side of the highway with their lights off, waiting for people to speed. Like, that's not a good use of my fucking tax dollars.
Yeah, it happens. You
And,
know,
like, what are we on, 57 now?
it's the life we lead. Yay.
Yeah, 57. Or
Yeah.
58. It's one of those two.
Sure.
I've done really well with not bringing driving problems onto the show, just because I know you can't really relate to them.
But by all means, pop off.
Well, I gotta be in the mood to pop off. I'm not in the mood to. What else did I put on my notes? Because I typed out this whole fucking thing for Winnie the Pooh movie. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing that's gonna, like, spark debate. You want to hear about the gas station? Do you want to hear about the gas station employee who yelled at me?
Yes.
Oh, do you? Does that pique interest at all?
Yes.
So in my car, it's my home away from home. So anytime I'm usually eating on the road because I don't make food at home. Very, very bad habit. I don't really give a shit. I usually go to gas stations, get food. All wrappers, bottles, all trash gets thrown right in the back seat. All right.
Yeah, I feel it.
Now, for the last month, ever since I moved out of the old house, I have not cleaned out my car. So you can imagine a month's worth of garbage. Just now, no food. All food gets thrown out. It's just wrappers and stuff. So it's not, like, disgusting. It's just wrappers and bottles and shit. So for the past month, I've just been throwing shit in the back seat. Well, I pull into this gas station and I'm like, I got time to kill. Let's empty out my car. So I'm throwing all of my trash from the past month in a single garbage can. And this fucking idiot comes out and goes, "Hey, you can't be doing that." And I'm like, throwing my stuff away?
Utilizing
like-
the trash can?
He's like, "Look, man, I gotta take that out. If you're throwing all that shit in there, then it's gonna be heavy and I'm not gonna be able to do it." I'm like, what are you, the fucking trash police? And he's like, "No, you're just making my job harder." I'm like, I'm giving you a fucking job to do. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, I'm literally just throwing trash away. I'm like, you want me to leave it in the parking lot? I'm like, I'll leave it in the fucking parking lot. I'll just push all this shit out and I'll litter everything. I don't care.
Desire, then I am more than happy to deliver.
And he's like, "Look, dude, just spread it out between." I'm like, I'm not spreading it out between different trash cans to make your job easier. I'm like, that's a waste of my time. I go, you get paid to take trash out. I feel like
you could have that courtesy.
No, because then I gotta waste gas to go over to the other trash can, because I'm not gonna walk all my garbage over there. There's no bags
How far
that
is
I'm
the
getting
other
rid of.
trash can?
It's a decent walk, like 10 feet. I don't want to walk the 10 feet holding garbage in my hands.
I'm starting to lose sympathy for you in this scenario.
Look, I'm emptying all my garbage from the past month in my car into a single garbage can. It's the most efficient way, and Mr. Garbage Policeman decides to come out of the building and come and yell at me for throwing my garbage away.
Yeah, that ain't cool.
It's not cool. Dude's being lazy. I was being lazy, but he's being lazy on the job. We can't have that, and that's not going to fly in Trump's new America. You know my ass is going is gonna vote if he gets up there. If
not
if
gonna.
it's between Trump and someone else, my ass is gonna be out there voting for the first time.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna. Trump is in too much shit. It's gonna be the. I'm calling it now, and if I'm wrong,
I hope Trump is the first president to go to prison. All right, that's my hope. I hope we get another 4 years of Trump, and in the first year, all the liberals put that man in prison, and he's the first president to go to prison. All right.
they're not gonna. They're not gonna
that
let him
title.
run correctly. Like there are already multiple states who have banned him from the ballot. Like he's fucked. He's not gonna be the Republican candidate. Like I'm sorry.
You don't know.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Who else is there?
Ron DeSantis. It's gonna be Ron DeSantis.
Fuck DeSantis.
I know, but it will be Ron DeSantis.
It's not going to be DeSantis.
The traditional Republicans love him.
The traditional Republicans are hoping for a theocracy. All right? We don't want that. A theocracy is literally one of the worst things that you could have.
I'm saying that's what the general Republican base wants. And
well, they're all fucking stupid.
At this point, with Donald Trump having all of his legal issues,
I hope Trump gets. I hope they take him to the top. I hope everybody pulls their heads out of each other's asses and looks at Trump and says, "You know what? This man did a lot of things correctly. He might run his mouth too much, but this man was great. We can't have another 4 years of Biden. Put Trump back in office to get Biden out of here."
I think they believe in DeSantis. I think they'll vote him in. A lot of those traditional Republican types are
yeah, but if DeSantis gets on the fucking ballot, then the Democrats are going to get another 4 years of Biden.
You think? You don't think DeSantis is going to win?
Do you know what that looks like to everybody else? Do you know what that means for the Republican Party?
That they're fucked for another 4 years.
No, that they're fucked for forever.
Okay.
Because we had Obama for 8 years. We get Trump for 4. And then we get Biden for another 8. That looks terrible on the Republican Party.
Well, sucks to suck.
And if they put, I'm telling you right now, on Detour Ahead, on... Do you mind if I say the date that we're recording this?
Yep.
You do?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you can say it. No, I don't mind.
On October 24th, 2023, if DeSantis gets on the ballot, he will not win. I am willing to bet any amount of money that if DeSantis gets put on the ballot for the Republican Party for presidency,
I feel like even people
will not win.
I feel like a lot of people are like fed up with Biden though.
But they will. It's going to be Biden versus DeSantis, and I think more people hate DeSantis than they do Biden. Actually,
yeah,
now that I shut my mouth and actually like use my brain for a second, oh, see, that's another Trump-Hillary situation then. Because if DeSantis makes it all the way, Biden's obviously going to run for president again for try and go for a second term. Because you'd be crazy not to do so.
I really hope he doesn't. Come on, man. Just fucking pack it in.
Because if Biden goes for another 4 years, that means Kamala might be president because he might die. Oh, God.
Biden, back off, bro. Just let somebody else do it.
Just go put Hillary in the running against DeSantis.
It's Bernie's turn, bro.
No.
You robbed it from him.
So much for listening.
You robbed it from him twice. Give it to him.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening.
You got some intense. You've got some skip to the outro ire for Bernie Sanders.
Bernie is a socialist who does not belong in politics. All right.
Oh.
We don't need any more geriatrics in the White House.
Big problem with socialism, there, Alex?
Considering I came from a communist nation, yes, I do have a big problem with socialism.
Listen, they did it wrong, okay? The actions of one insert dictator here from any there's your Stalins, your Mao's, or whatever the fuck that guy was. They all did it wrong, okay?
Oh,
Bernie's
please,
gonna do it right.
Tell me how to run the country. Tell me how socialism is going to help the world, buddy.
I'm not
You want that
qualified.
free college? Is that all you want?
Get Bernie Sanders on the show.
Is that all you want? Is free college? Is that like the big thing that's like, oh yeah, let's get Bernie so we can get some free college? Is that it? Is that your running stance here, buddy?
I just think economic policies that will help the less fortunate should be bolstered.
Like what?
I'm not it's fucking midnight.
I don't care.
I'm not
What's his
qualified for this
policies?
conversation.
You brought up politics. What's his policies? What policies of Bernie Sanders do you like?
I'm not getting into it, okay? Thank you for listening to Detour Head.
You don't want to defend yourself now.
No. I'm not qualified. Alex, where can they find you?
Patreon.com/Colochew.
Wow.
You can also find me on... Yeah, I'm going to start plugging the Patreon. Give me money. Fuck you, pay me. Patreon.com/Colochew.
Couple episodes of Dick Masterson fucking negging people for super chats, and you're like, yeah, I gotta get that money.
I haven't had him neg people. I've plugged the Patreon. I plugged the Patreon on here last week.
Yeah, you're probably right. You might not have got. There's a lot of biggest problem has a lot of him being like, come on, send your super chats in. More super chats. Come on, send your super chats in.
Patreon.com/Colochew. If you donate money to me and you say that you like Detour Ahead, DM me and say you like Detour Ahead. For every $1 I get, 50 cents will go to Riely. As long as you are a member of the show, you will get money. Riely will get money if you donate to me.
And if the Patreon gets numbers and people are actually subscribed, maybe we could do some like bonus episodes or something. Who knows?
I thought about throwing up a whole, like, scrapping patreon.com/Colochew and just doing patreon.com/Detourhead.
Yeah.
And then just splitting it. But I'm like, I don't know. That was a whole conversation I was going to have later with you.
Yeah, this is the our financial laundry live on air. Real quick.
Well, no, I don't.
What do you
care.
think the fiscal business plan should be?
That's a conversation I was going to have like at a later date with you of whether or not we should have a Patreon for the show or not.
I mean,
until
I don't know
we
if
do,
we have the numbers for a Patreon, but
patreon.com/Colochew.
patreon.com/CHU.
Asterios. Patreon.com/Asterios. You can also find me on YouTube as Colochew. If you're not already listening on the YouTube channel. New episodes go up every Wednesday. Riely, where are you at?
You can find me on linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. It's also on my Twitter in the pinned tweet at Riely Tweets. Although I started a Twitter thread about my Shield run, and part of me really wants to make it my pinned tweet, but I'll leave the link tree there.
Can't you pin multiple tweets?
No.
You can only pin one?
Yep. But there's shit there, links to podcasts. Listen to the Issue Crew, because on every other show I always plug this show in particular. So on this show, Issue Crew, it's a show where me and some of my friends, such as Demi Gloom, Mo Diggity, Random Candor, Crow Royalty, all of them people, you know them, you love them. Andrew, who hasn't been on the show yet, but I assume will be someday. We do a show where every week we come together. We each pick an issue. We talk about why that's the largest issue, and then you can vote in the description who had the largest issue. This last episode, we talked about such thrilling issues as fucking Joe Biden and forgetting to jerk off before you leave for work and overtime and all sorts of fun stuff. You should check it out.
Patreon.com/Colochew.
That's right. Thank you for listening, folks. Give us money. Get out of here. Go away.
Yes.
Money, money, money.